If you are listening to this right now and you've been, casually or seriously looking at the real estate market lately, you've probably felt that incredibly specific frustration.
Oh, absolutely. Everyone knows that feeling.
Right. You know the one. You're staring at a public app on your phone, you see a premium house pop up, you click on it, and, well, before the virtual tour even finishes buffering, the property is marked pending.
Yep, it's gone.
It honestly feels like trying to buy front row concert tickets against a million internet bots. You start wondering if you're just, not fast enough.
It creates a very effective illusion. You see those sold signs and assume you were just a day late. But the reality of what is actually happening behind the scenes in luxury real estate is quite different.
It's a totally different game, isn't it?
Exactly. The game isn't about being faster on the public apps. It's that you are playing on the wrong field entirely.
Welcome to today's deep dive. Our mission today is to bypass those bots and explore the hidden, exclusive world of off-market luxury real estate in 2026.
It's a fascinating space.
It really is. We've got our hands on some deep market analysis from a veteran broker based in Indiana, Cara Conde, who operates with C8 Real Estate.
Right.
We are going to use her latest post, published today, April 14, 2026, as a case study. It essentially hands us the secret menu for luxury real estate.
Okay, let's unpack this, because what we are looking at completely flips the traditional home buying script.
What's fascinating here is that the most desirable properties simply aren't making it to the public market.
Which is wild to think about.
It is. But to understand why this shadow market exists, we first have to look at the pressure cooker of the public market in 2026. We'll be looking at the specific market mechanics in Fishers, Indiana, the psychology of these private listings, and, how data analytics is fundamentally changing how private assets are traded.
Right. Let's look at the hard numbers for Fishers first. According to the source, as of early 2026, the median home value there sits between $415,000 and $437,000.
And it's seeing a steady year-over-year appreciation of about 1.5% to 4%. But here's where I have to push back on the narrative a little bit.
Oh, how so?
Well, wait. If homes are sitting for 25 to 60 days, according to the data, that doesn't exactly sound like an overnight frenzy. Why is there such a panic to find an edge if you have up to 2 months?
That is a very fair point, but you have to look closely at how that 25 to 60-day average is calculated. Averages in real estate can be incredibly deceptive.
Because they lump everything together.
Precisely. We are really looking at a bimodal distribution. It's basically a tale of two markets masked as one number. That average includes the highly aspirational sellers who overprice their homes by 20%.
Right, the ones that just sit there forever.
Exactly. It includes properties that need massive structural renovations or houses sitting on busy commercial intersections. Those properties languish for 90 days or more.
So they drag the average way up.
They do. But the truly premium move-and-ready resale homes, the ones with the highly functional floor plans, the correct school zoning, the modernized kitchens, those properties aren't sitting for 30 days.
They're just gone.
They are vanishing instantly. Or, more accurately, they are never surfacing to the public at all.
That makes a lot of sense. And the demand for those specific premium properties in Fishers isn't just coming from the local Indianapolis area either.
No, not at all.
Which is what makes this case study so interesting. The source material includes a list of related articles that really broaden the context. We're looking at commentary with titles like From Antioch Budget Blues to Fishers Luxury Living.
Right, drawing in that out-of-state crowd.
Yeah, and another one, Sorry Barrington, your sky-high tax bill just got ghosted by Fishers. Plus, there's extensive discussion about relocations from California, specifically San Francisco, to central Indiana.
And that migration is a massive structural shift. We aren't just talking about a few people wanting a change of scenery here. We are looking at a systematic arbitrage of living costs.
Let's break that arbitrage down because the mechanics are wild. If you are a buyer sitting in San Francisco or heavily taxed areas in Illinois like Barrington, you're looking at your state income tax, your property tax.
Your general cost of living, yeah.
Right. People are literally moving across the country because they realize that trading that high-stress, high-tax environment for Fishers yields a massive lifestyle upgrade.
Oh, absolutely.
The data suggests they are saving $1,500 to $3,000 a month just in carry costs by making that move.
So when a buyer from one of those high-cost coastal or heavily taxed markets looks at a $437,000 median home price in Fishers, They don't see a stretch. They see an absolute bargain.
Pocket change to them.
Exactly. They are coming in with significant out-of-state purchasing power, often cash from a previous home sale.
Which completely warps the local pricing structure. I mean, if a local buyer who has budgeted carefully for a $450,000 home is suddenly bidding against a buyer from California.
Who views that same home as a steal?
Right. And they throw down $550,000 in cash without blinking. The public market turns into an emotional battlefield. It becomes a bidding war dictated entirely by out-of-state wallets.
Exactly, the dynamic. And it leaves the seasoned, strategic buyer asking a very important question. How do I avoid fighting that battle?
Which brings us to the back door. The off-market advantage, or what the industry calls the pocket listing process.
Yes, the invisible market.
Now, I used the velvet rope analogy earlier, but looking at how this actually functions, it's less like a VIP club and more like a high-end matchmaker.
I like that analogy. Break down how you see that mechanism working.
Well, in a public auction or a traditional listing, you throw the doors open to everyone and hope a bidding war drives the price up. But with a matchmaker, the agent already knows the buyer's highly specific criteria.
Right.
And they already know the seller's desire for privacy. So they are bridging the gap between the two parties before the public even knows they are dating.
That is a very accurate representation of the mechanism. But let's look at it from the seller's perspective, because this is where a lot of people get confused.
Yeah, why wouldn't they want a bidding war?
Right. If we connect this to the bigger picture, why would a seller intentionally limit their buyer pool? It seems counterintuitive. If I'm selling a premium asset, conventional wisdom says, I want maximum exposure to get the highest possible dollar amount. Why hide it?
Because maximum exposure comes with a massive operational cost. I mean, I'm thinking about the sheer exhaustion of the traditional process.
Oh, the open houses alone.
Exactly. If you have a beautiful high-end home, you have to stage it. You have to keep it perfectly clean 24/7. You have to pack up your family, the dog, the kids, and leave every Saturday and Sunday afternoon.
Just so random people can walk through your primary bedroom.
Right. And some of them aren't even qualified to buy the house. They're just opening your closets for fun.
Not to mention the digital footprint. Do you really want thousands of people from the internet scrolling through photos of your personal living space?
No.
For sellers of luxury assets, privacy and convenience often carry a quantifiable monetary value. They will gladly bypass the chaos of an open market if a well-connected agent can quietly bring them a single, highly qualified, pre-vetted buyer.
Someone willing to pay a fair price and offer a smooth transaction.
Exactly.
And if you are the buyer in that scenario, the leverage you gain is incredible. I mean, you are looking at a drastically reduced pool of competition. Often, you are the only one looking at the property.
You get absolute confidentiality.
Yeah, and you get early access before the seller has even officially decided to list. But the biggest benefit, I think, is psychological.
You avoid the emotional frenzy.
Exactly. You aren't standing in a driveway on a Sunday afternoon looking at 20 other couples, feeling your heart race, and deciding to waive your inspection contingency just to win.
You can negotiate on price and terms with a clear head.
The source material sums this up with a great insight. It says, off-market isn't just about secrecy. It's about strategy, timing, and access that public listings simply cannot match.
But that level of access introduces a new problem for the listener. You can't just, casually stumble into an off-market deal on your own.
Right. You can't just browse an app for them.
No, and you can't drive around a premium neighborhood in Fishers looking for a for sale sign, because there isn't one. The entire ecosystem operates on a whisper network.
Agents calling agents.
Exactly, leveraging private client lists.
So you need a gatekeeper. You need a specialist who is deeply embedded in that network. Which is why the author of today's source material, Cara Conde, makes for such an interesting case study in how modern real estate is shifting.
Her background is certainly an anomaly in traditional real estate.
It really is. We aren't talking about someone who decided to get a license as a side hustle last year. She has been licensed since 2002. She is a former investor who built a multi-million-dollar portfolio herself.
Impressive resume.
Very. She's a certified negotiation expert and a certified luxury home marketing specialist. But those are just titles. Here's where it gets really interesting. She has a master's degree in computer science from Oxford University.
Which is the exact intersection where real estate moves from a relationship business to a data science business.
Right. And that is the crux of it. Because my initial thought was, how does an Oxford computer science degree translate to evaluating a 4-bedroom house in the Indiana suburbs?
It seems like a stretch at first glance.
Yeah. But she isn't just looking at past comparable sales, is she?
No, and that is the critical difference between a traditional agent and a data-driven specialist. A traditional agent might walk into a house and focus entirely on the aesthetics.
Like the staging couch or the curb appeal.
Exactly, the paint colors. Those things attract emotional buyers. But with a computer science background, you are trained to look at predictive data modeling. You are looking at algorithmic value.
Break that down for me. Explain how that works in practice. How does data modeling find a house?
It's about identifying true long-term value before the rest of the market catches on. A data-driven specialist is analyzing hyperlocal zoning changes. They're looking at historical absorption rates like how fast certain types of homes sell in a 1-mile radius.
Oh, wow. So really getting into the weeds.
Oh, absolutely. They are tracking microeconomic shifts, infrastructure plans, and traffic pattern changes. They are analyzing the underlying lot value and the true cost of necessary updates versus the projected return on investment.
So while an emotional buyer is getting distracted by a nice kitchen island, the analytical mind is looking at the bones of the asset.
Right.
They're realizing that because the city is planning a new green space 3 blocks away, this specific property is undervalued by 10%.
Exactly. It is applying surgical precision to property valuation. When you combine that analytical rigor with the soft skills of what she calls white glove service and that private pipeline of exclusive opportunities,
You get a completely different tier of representation.
you really do. She isn't just opening a door. She has the data to prove to her clients exactly why a specific property is a smart long-term hold.
It really frames Cara Conde less as a real estate agent and more as a private asset manager who specializes in housing.
That's a great way to put it.
So let's take all of this, the 2026 market dynamics, the off-market whisper network, and the data-driven specialist approach, and look at the ultimate result. What does a hidden gem in Fishers actually look like when you apply this methodology?
The source provides a fantastic concrete example, an exclusive preview of a property available right now, entirely off-market.
Let's run through the specs. We're looking at a stunning 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom luxury residence. It boasts approximately 3,710 square feet of living space, and it sits on a very generous 0.29-acre lot.
Sounds ideal.
Now, that all sounds great, but here is the detail that gave me pause. It was built in 1992.
Why does that give you pause?
Well, if you had the budget for a premium luxury home in 2026, I think the natural instinct for a lot of buyers is to look for brand new construction.
Sure, people love shiny and new.
Exactly. You hear 1992 build, and the mind immediately goes to compartmentalized, outdated floor plans or brass fixtures or systems that are starting to fail. Why look at a house over 30 years old when developers are building shiny new neighborhoods right down the road?
This raises an important question, and it's a common hesitation, but it perfectly illustrates why you need to look past the surface. Let's talk about the reality of new construction.
Okay.
Yes, new builds are shiny, but they often severely lack maturity, specifically when it comes to the land itself.
You mean the lot?
Yes. Think about the physical mechanism of building a new subdivision. When a developer clears land, they almost always clear-cut the existing trees to make way for the heavy machinery and the foundational work.
Oh, right. So it's just a dirt patch.
Exactly. If you buy new construction today, you might be waiting 20 or 30 years for a sapling to provide any real shade or privacy.
That makes total sense. You can swap out a kitchen countertop in 2 weeks, but you cannot instantly grow a 40-foot oak tree.
You really can't. A 1992 property offers deeply established landscaping. It has mature oaks, the soil has settled. It provides a deeply rooted neighborhood feel that a brand new development with its perfectly manicured but barren lawns simply cannot replicate on day one.
It takes decades to get that back.
Exactly. There is an intrinsic, irreplaceable value in a mature lot, especially one that is 0.29 acres in a premium location.
The source actually describes the property perfectly. It's like buying a classic vintage car where someone has already swapped in a brand new, ultra-reliable, modern engine.
I love that analogy.
Yeah, it has meaningful, modern updates to make it totally move-in ready, but it keeps the established charm of its era.
And we shouldn't dismiss the structural benefits of that era either. From a functional standpoint, a 3,710 square foot home from the early 90s often features a footprint that is surprisingly adaptable. The source highlights that this specific home has an open concept design.
Which is huge right now, especially with the 5 bedrooms.
Right, because how we use our homes has fundamentally changed over the last few years.
Yeah.
With 5 bedrooms, you have immediate built-in solutions for dedicated home offices.
Or gym spaces.
Exactly. More importantly, it accommodates multi-generational living, which is one of the most significant trends in real estate right now as people combine households to maximize resources.
Oh, absolutely.
When you synthesize all of these data points, the mature lot, the sheer square footage, the adaptable floor plan, and the modern updates, a property like this delivers a much stronger overall value and practicality than many of the newer luxury builds currently going up in the Fishers area.
It's the best of both worlds. You get the character, the trees, and the settled neighborhood, but you also get the modern functionality. And crucially, because it is an off-market pocket listing, you get it without having to fight 20 other families from California in a blind bidding war.
But again, because it is completely hidden from the public eye, only the prepared buyers, the ones actively working with a connected, data-literate specialist, will ever even know it exists.
The general public will just see a sold sign pop up 3 months from now and wonder how they missed it.
Yep, they'll never even have the chance to bid.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? If we zoom out and synthesize everything we've uncovered in this deep dive, the core takeaway is a massive paradigm shift. In a highly competitive, fast-moving 2026 market like Fishers, Indiana, the best opportunities simply aren't going to be found staring at a smartphone screen and hitting refresh.
No, that strategy is obsolete.
Completely. The traditional public market is increasingly dictated by out-of-state wealth and emotional bidding wars. The truly premium, high-value homes, the ones with real structural and algorithmic value, are moving silently through private channels.
To operate successfully in this environment, you have to change your approach. You have to recognize that real estate has become a data science.
Right.
Partnering with a deeply connected specialist, someone who operates like Cara Conde, who can navigate that hidden off-market ecosystem and run the predictive modeling to ensure you're making a sound investment, is no longer just a luxury. It is a strategic necessity to get past the public noise.
It really is. It changes how you view the entire transaction.
Right.
You aren't just buying a house, you are acquiring a heavily analyzed private asset.
And I think that leaves us with a fascinating, broader concept to mull over.
Oh,
Yeah. We've just spent this time dissecting how much incredible value, how much tangible opportunity is entirely hidden from the public real estate market. The best deals are happening in rooms the public doesn't even have the address to.
that's a wild thought.
It really makes you wonder what other major aspects of our lives, our investments, or our careers are we making decisions about based only on the public listings? What other hidden private markets of opportunity are sitting just beneath the surface, completely invisible to us, simply because we haven't found the right matchmaker to let us in?